Welcome, Claire.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, do you know, I'm great. I'm so delighted to be here.
I'm so happy to have
be
you
here.
here.
Delighted to get cuddles with this one.
Oh,
And you.
River's
Very
here.
jealous of your t-shirt, as we've established.
Well, Claire, I wore this t-shirt for you because I know that you're one of the only people that will actually appreciate it. I have worn this t-shirt. If you're just listening, I'm wearing a t-shirt from The Silence of the Lambs.
And if you didn't know that, fucking
Just
yourself educated.
get it together.
That is my comfort movie. One of.
100% classic. But so few people actually understand that. They're like, oh my gosh, that's such an adorable dog. And I'm like, well, no.
Come here, precious. Come here, precious.
Right, this is Precious from a very violent movie. But
she was very precious.
So precious. Anyways, I wore this just for you because I knew that you would appreciate it.
I do appreciate it.
And I so appreciate you doing this. I have wanted to do this for a while, actually. I didn't tell you this until recently. But I just knew we would have a great chat.
Of course we will.
I think there's so much
that
we can both relate to and other people will relate with.
Mm-hmm. But I think also you and I sometimes also reflect and experience things very differently from one another.
Yes.
And that's an interesting perspective. It's interesting to discuss.
I love that you brought that up.
Yeah. Yes. It's part of the rich tapestry of all this experience of our life and yoga and
rich tapestry. And I knew that you'd bring humor to this conversation because you are hilarious.
Oh, thank you. I don't know. I was bullied as a child.
So was I. What do you know?
What is it like? Are you funny or did you have a good childhood? I'm funny.
I'm funny.
I'm funny. I was fat, so I'm funny.
Claire. Well, maybe we'll get into that.
Of course.
Maybe we won't. We'll see where the conversation goes.
Nothing's off the table, my love.
Nothing's off the table. I do have loose guidelines for today, and we'll see where the conversation goes.
Amazing. I hope I don't get cancelled.
You might get cancelled.
Before I've even begun.
Right? I might get cancelled as well.
First and last podcast of my life.
I'm so honored that this is your first podcast.
Oh yeah, who's asking me about a podcast? I've got nothing to say. You've got
a lot to say. You've got a lot to say. I think your students would say you have a lot to say.
Yes.
Okay, so to open this up, well, first of all, the themes that I had in mind today that I think you and I can both relate to are belonging and commitment and like longevity to practice and teaching. And I think we've got a lot to discuss.
I think so.
So let's get into it.
There's a lot in there. Let's do it.
Okay. So the first question that I have for you, I know it's kind of basic. It's the essence is like, why yoga? How did you get into yoga? But from the angle of you are a goth, is that fair to say?
I think some would argue the look has changed somewhat, but inside, of course, I am still.
I know. I know you are.
Very much so.
Yeah. When I first met you, which would be over 10 years now, which is freaking crazy. We've seen each other. Wow. Okay. But over 10 years ago, you were like goth.
Oh, yeah.
Like fully goth. Yeah.
Oh, the micro fringe, jet black box tie hair.
Yeah.
Only dressed in black.
Yeah.
Lots of obviously I wear makeup, but lots. I had lots.
You did. It's okay. It's part of the aesthetic.
And it was great. I mean, I couldn't do that now. Don't ask me to do an eyeliner flick. It's just,
and
I don't know how I ever did it.
It was the red lipstick for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, which is still, certainly that's still in the rotation. It's just because we're, sorry to make this not evergreen, but we're kind of in the summertime right now. So I'm kind of doing like a little summer vibe. Yeah. Where I'm just trying to diversify a bit. But
I've seen you wear pink lately. Yeah, I never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah.
But anyways, when did you start practicing yoga, first of all?
So I guess I came to yoga probably maybe like a year and a half or so before the Cali Collective began. It could have been a wee bit more than that, but I didn't come to it on my own. It was my boyfriend at the time said, I fancy trying yoga. And I was I was more than a little scared. It was just totally the unknown to me. And B, at that time, I was quite fearful of anything that I perceived to be exercise outside of the boundaries of what I was doing at the time, which was essentially just kind of walking to and from work and stuff. I really didn't have anything like the lifestyle that I now have.
Right.
I was still relatively in the infancy of recovery from anorexia, and I was very limited in my scope of experience. But I came to my first yoga class and hated it. Oh, hated
Say
it so
more.
much. Well, I couldn't fucking do it for a start.
Yeah, it's hard.
And I remember thinking at one point, we were in Down Dog, and bless her, Laura McCrimmon, fabulous teacher.
I feel like we
wonderful
just need to
person.
pause and praise that woman.
Oh my God.
Unreal.
She's so beautiful.
She is like the unsung hero for blazing the trail of vinyasa in Glasgow, because she was rocking it.
Oh, and
before
like
me.
so and so organically as well. There was nothing false, nothing like she wasn't splashed all over anywhere. It was seriously, it felt like it was very like word of mouth and by reputation alone.
What an inspiration.
She was unbelievable.
Unreal.
Unbelievable. And that's why after that first time, even though I hated it, I came back the next week and then back the next week, and then it was 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a week, and then before I knew it, I was just completely and utterly hooked. But I remember that first class with her, and God bless her, I know what she meant now, but there was a point where she said, and we'll go into Adho Mukha Svanasana, we'll go into Down Dog, and I know for those of you who are new to this practice that this might feel quite intense now, and one day this is going to feel like home, this posture. And I thought, fuck you.
Yep.
If I get out of here, I'm going to rip your head off, because I feel like I'm going to die with my arse in the air. Because it was just so hard. I just thought it was so difficult. And by the way, and I really did sincerely feel that. Sorry, Laura, but that was the practice, the real practice beginning, because it's those barriers and those challenges. And I think I wouldn't say I'm type A at all, except when it comes to physical pursuits. I can get extremely frustrated if I'm not magically good at something first time, even though that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
I think sometimes, though, in the physical practice of yoga, as in a lot of other physical pursuits, it's just if we have maybe lower confidence, we use it as another rod to hit our backs with, because we convince ourselves that somehow we're different from every single other person in the room, every single other person who's ever tried to do anything. They could all do it and I can't. And I think that a lot of that came up instantly, and I'd never really experienced that before, because I'd never tried.
Right. So what was it like? And I mean, I know the yoga community has diversified, thank God, compared to, I guess that would have been 12, 13 years ago that you started
ages.
practicing. Yeah.
Too long.
It's changed a lot, but I'm going to take a guess that you were the only goth in the room, or you and your then boyfriend?
Yes.
The only goths?
The only goths in the village, in the yoga village. Yeah, more or less. I didn't come across very many goths. And I do remember our mutual friend and colleague, darling of the Cali Collective, Scott MacDonald, saying that was kind of one of the things that stood out to him when we first met, and what he remembered of me. He's like, who's that goth? Where's there a goth in the, why's there a goth in the yoga room?
Totally.
What's she doing here?
Yeah. But that's what I'm curious about, because even though I think, of course, you belong doing whatever you want to do, and anybody belongs. We all belong, especially in a yoga studio. Yeah. But being so visibly different and internally different than your and this is a broad stroke sweeping statement, but than your typical yogi. Mm-hmm. What was it that drew you to yoga, and did you feel like you belonged there?
Not initially. I think if it had not been for having a teacher who made me feel so welcome, so met where I was, and so nurtured, it would not have gone how it went. And I think also having the support of a buddy there is really, really helpful, because you just feel, I'm not in this totally on my own.
Yeah.
Now, actually, I would say now I've kind of gone the other way where I actually quite like to go into experiences on my own for the first time and just absorb it. But I think that that's probably a confidence that's built over years of practice and experience and stuff. But you know, the thing is, like, I think 10 plus years ago, looking at the sort of scene of yoga in Glasgow, it was a funny thing because you would walk into studio spaces and you would hear all of these words about how everyone is welcome and we celebrate difference. But everybody was kind of the fucking same and wearing the same clothes.
Yup.
And yeah, there was definitely a certain style. And I think that because, as with so many things, there's also a financial aspect to entering studio environments and having memberships.
Of course.
And that also can lead to a bit of homogeny, where I think I've definitely seen over the years there been much more of an approach towards how can we bring people in community together, in a sense, more regardless of background, affluence, what they consider themselves to be here for. Let's just get everybody in the door, and if it's for them, amazing. And I love that. I really do.
I think a lot of that changed actually during COVID when so much stuff went online.
Yes.
Because anybody can practice and get a good class for free on YouTube.
Yes.
And, you know, I think that's important to have access.
Yeah, and we did so much streaming. I mean, what would we have done without you? No, because you spearheaded an awful lot of that. An awful lot of that. And you were doing a lot of broadening opportunities for people to approach practice in the Glasgow yoga community way before other people were.
Thank you. I'd like to think that I was.
You don't need to like to think it. Just think it, because I've just told you it's true.
Thank you.
It's
I
true.
still and there's still more that can be done. There's still ways to go. I know.
Yeah, but you know, you could look at it that way, but then we must start somewhere and build and build and build. And I think there'll always be work to do. It's like the physical practice and the wider practice of yoga in itself, isn't it? It's never done.
Never done,
You're never like,
unfortunately.
Final tick.
Yep.
I am now the master. I've done it all. There's always so much
Of course.
to learn and
Even
progress
though
to be made.
Yeah, there's people who do think that they've actually ticked the box, but no,
Yes.
it's an ever unfolding. I call it the never ending tending. Like you're continually tending to life, and tending to the practice.
I love how we rhyme.
Right?
Oh, I'm going to remember that one.
So can we circle back to something that you brought up?
Yes.
You can go or you can not go there, because I actually don't know a ton about this part of your life, but you said that you were just coming off of an eating disorder when you came into the yoga world. Yeah. Was yoga helpful or harmful?
I think, and this recovery is different for everybody. For me, anything that helps me, I can manipulate to harm me. Right. So it was something that I think very quickly for me, the physical element of practice and the desire to always have challenge, sweaty, dynamic practice, that was not always coming from an exceptionally healthy place. I think it's really, really tricky because it's quite insidious with that type of a mental health problem. You start doing something and you're like, oh my God, I never thought I could do this. I never thought I could do anything. And I can. And it's important for me when I'm doing these things that I must feel my body and stay healthy and stay strong. And then sometimes at a certain point, it'll flip and it'll be, okay, but you don't deserve X, Y, Z unless you do this much practice of this type a day. And that's not yoga. No. That's trying to dress a workout up as a yoga practice. Yeah. And I remember it was actually at the Cali Collective, I was in a workshop with Taylor Harkness. And Taylor said to everybody, tell me if you are a person who does nothing physically in terms of what you consider as for your health or for your physicality other than yoga. If you're using yoga as your physical activity and it's the mainstay of it. And I think I was one of 2 people,
Yeah.
And he said, okay, I'm going to, with love, ask you to diversify and to stop that, because what you're doing is you're losing your practice, and what you're doing is moving and not practicing yoga.
Great.
And I was like, huh. And it took me probably another 5 years from that point to get my head around trying something different and trying to diversify. Yeah. And I'm very happy that I did, for a number of reasons. But one of the main things is now that my particularly physical practice of yoga can be yoga now, and it's not, even last week I was in a class and I was observing myself just do less.
Yeah.
To allow myself to breathe, to allow myself to restore, to listen to what my nervous system, what my mind, what my body actually needed, as opposed to doing X, Y, Z because I know I can and I know it's more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's like a big shift.
Yeah.
A really big shift.
I think a lot of people can relate to that. And I see it as a teacher who's been doing this for a long time. Yeah. You can see it in people. You can see when the practice is no longer, it's the opposite of doing yoga. And it's like a kind of version of like self-harm.
Oh yeah. And it becomes performative.
Yes.
It's a performance.
Yeah.
And who for?
Yeah.
Who for? Because and I know from experience, anybody who is not an absolute wanker is there completely for themselves and completely consumed by what they're doing. They're not like going, oh, so-and-so, blah. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes you'll see somebody and they seem to be doing something that defies the laws of physics and gravity and all that. And you're like, oh, God, blimey, that's amazing.
Yeah, right.
So, but nobody in their right mind is really there scrutinising other folk. We're all there in our own practice.
Totally.
And consumed with what we are doing. So if you're throwing every single posture, I do admit this is I'm just going to be an absolute bitch for a moment. But I remember one time when I was leading a practice, this is years ago, I was leading a practice and I sort of said towards the end of practice, now, if there are any postures that your practice won't feel complete without, please take these couple of minutes at the end and make sure that it feels restorative to you, but you don't feel that anything's left out. And most people, because it was my class, were like, I want to lie down. And so they laid down. And then there's this one motherfucker standing on his hands in the middle of the room. And I'm like, who's that for? That's not serving you. And I'm the one that's got to come over and catch you because you're about to fall on wee so-and-so in front of you. Wee Geraldine's about to get kicked in the nut.
There's always the one.
There is. And it's so easy to sort of just go to being like pissed off or judgmental about that. But guess what? Not standing on my hands, but that was me too.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes when we feel that spark of anger or resistance, it's very important to turn inwards and go, oh, why is that bringing that up?
How very yogi of you to say that.
Because it's we know from the wider practice of yoga that more often than not, when you find that you're having that kind of reaction, it's because you see some of yourself within it.
100%. Absolutely.
And it makes you defensive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's as you say, what is it you said? It's the never-ending tending?
Never-ending tending. I hope that, takes off.
It's like, hello, merch alert.
Oh my God, you're so right.
Never-ending tending.
Never-ending tending. Yes.
I'd get that in a pair of pants. Pair of underpants.
Oh God. Yeah, no, I definitely resonate with what you say. And although my whole coming to yoga was very different than yours, I still absolutely found a way in those early years to weaponize my practice and use it. Yeah. It's like I found a way to use it as ammunition to continue hating myself back in those early years. And it just fed the story of you're not good enough, you're not, all the stories, all the things.
Yeah.
And that's, that's so far from the practice. But I think a lot of people you kind of have to go through that. Mm-hmm. And that's, and hopefully you stick with it long enough to actually tend to the stuff that is arising and see how much of that was just self-sabotage. To come out through the other side. But like I said, I see it not so much anymore. I think Cali attracts a mature crowd, people who've been practicing for a while.
Totally.
So I don't see that as much, but I saw it a lot back when I was doing teacher trainings and in the early years of Cali. I saw that a lot. And there's nothing you can do as a teacher to help.
No.
Because it's just something inside of...
Well, I think as teachers and as like a working community of teachers, so what we can do is not facilitate a toxic culture.
Absolutely.
Because I think that has a really big bearing on who you attract and the kind of class environment, that you have. I think that while we are not here in any way, shape, or form, I hope we're not here. I hope I'm not anybody's mentor, Steph.
Oh, they're screwed.
Yeah.
No, stop it. I think a lot of people find you inspiring.
I think mentorship can be a bit treacherous because at the end of the day, we're all human beings doing our best and we're all learning and we're all growing all the time. But equally, as people who are facilitating people at all stages of their yoga practice, we have power and we have a responsibility to practice what we preach, and just to be very mindful that every time you're bringing people to their mat, you are kind of representing, or you're kind of setting up a little culture for how things go.
Absolutely.
That's true in a wider sense. And it's also just true for the hour or the hour and a half or however long it is that you spend with people. Absolutely. It has an impact.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It has an impact. It all does.
It's
the same as all the imagery and stuff that goes along with it.
Yeah.
I think that's changed in yoga. Certainly it's changed in yoga in Glasgow.
Yes.
Over the last sort of decade, I would say. It's not all gone. But, I remember when it was all six packs.
Yeah. A very specific type.
And also, that in itself is irresponsible because even in recent years, I had a person come to me in a yoga class and say, so if I keep coming to yoga and I keep doing this, I'd really like to have a body similar to yours. And so will I get that?
Oh no.
If I keep coming back and keep going? And it would be it's irresponsible to even enter into that conversation, and that's somebody who's got a lot of work to do in terms of accepting and embracing themselves and everything like that. But also, don't lie to people and say, if you come to this class X number of times, you will have this body, you will have this ability. That's not what we're here for. So I'll always be responsible and explain to people, I'll weight train.
Yeah.
I now again run and do different things like that as well, and that this is all it's a much bigger picture.
Yeah.
And if you're coming to yoga because you want a certain body,
your time is better spent doing something else.
Yeah.
Really, if that's what you're coming for.
By all means, keep coming and find out all the other stuff.
Yeah.
That's there, and all of the other incredible benefits, physiologically, emotionally, mentally. There are so many benefits.
Of course.
But I just think some of that is maybe tied up. I always remember when I went my first session of my teacher training, and this is a teacher who qualified with me, no in love. We were all asked what brought us to yoga and why we wanted to be yoga teachers. And they just said, well, I just really love Madonna. And I love Madonna's body, and I just really love Madonna, and I really want to be like Madonna, and that's why I do yoga.
All right.
I was like, okay.
Wow, I forgot there for a moment that she's really into yoga, but okay.
I don't know. She knows. Who knows?
And I think I completely agree with what you're saying, and there are still a lot of issues with how yoga is being presented.
Yeah, the optics.
Of course, because you think even today, you think about like if you were to like Google yoga or what does a yogi look like, you're going to see a very common theme. It's going to be skinny, white, female, middle class, wearing, you know, the brands, the yoga clothes brands.
Yeah.
Lululemon. And and it's going to be like a very specific, very bendy.
Yes.
You know, we're not I think we are starting to see more diversity now in the look of a yogi. But I remember, so I've been practicing for 20 years now, which is shocking.
Steph, you must have been in the womb when you began.
Right? Stop. So I was in my late teens, and that was at least my first class that I went to. And I wasn't hooked right away. It took a couple years to really get hooked. But my God, I can remember how out of place I felt. Like so out of place. Yeah. Which the irony of that, being a brown person who's clearly of Indian descent, and here I was feeling like such an outsider in the yoga community. It was like so weird. And I just remember thinking, this is part of the inspiration for where Callie, you know, kind of came from. But I just remember thinking, God, I am not that. I am not that. I am not the people that are, no offense to the people that were in the studio with me, that I was practicing with. There's nothing wrong with being, you know, white, middle class, female. There's nothing wrong with that. But there was just no diversity at all.
Yeah.
And, you know, keeping in mind, I grew up in very like white communities. So it's not like it was that shocking. No matter where I went, I was the only brown person, really. But yeah, I just remember this really intense feeling of like, on one hand, I was really being called to practice. Like like yoga itself was always calling me, and I was so curious and interested in yoga. And yet it was like held in this community that I was like, God, I don't belong in this at all. Like at all.
I find that so interesting and also so commendable, because at no point there did you say that you were tempted to try and conform.
Thank you. And I'm very happy that I had no desire to be like that.
What's that like? Oh, I've been wanting to conform for a huge chunk of my life, honey.
Yeah. I feel you. I do understand that. I think just by way of me being born brown, there was no way for me to be like everybody else in the communities that I was raised in. And so, yeah, I guess just I'm lucky in that sense that I got to just be so unique.
But you say lucky, but no, again, I think it's actually really, it shows so much fortitude, and it's so commendable that I know, yes, you are brown, and you couldn't change that, but you didn't try and fix the rest.
I know.
To fit.
I know.
I think it's first of all, it's very interesting, but second of all, there we have the seed planted that the Callie Collective came from,
right?
And your whole journey towards and through that.
Even though I didn't even know that was going to come, and we can talk about that a little bit, but like it's not like I was like, wow, I want to open up a studio that's so different, and boom, Callie Collective. Like, as you know, it took some time to kind of get there. But yeah, I'm very lucky in my early 20s, because I was also, you know, like so many people in my late teens, early 20s, like I wasn't in a good place. And that's what brought me to yoga. And so I'm very glad that I didn't also feel like, oh, I need to be like everybody else. I didn't feel that. I felt out of place for sure, but I didn't.
But you didn't walk away.
Right. And I didn't feel like I needed to be anything else. But it was very I am surprised that I didn't walk away, because the yoga community at that time, which again, we're talking between 15 and 20 years ago is when I really got into it. But the communities then were incredibly middle class. And I was living on my own at that point. So I left my parents' house when I was either 18 or 19 and was like on my own from that point. They weren't even living in Canada for a while there. So like I had no money and I was just like traveling and whatever. Like I didn't have a ton of money. So like I had to go to, first of all, actually how I really learned yoga was from a DVD from my local library. It was a Jiva Mukti DVD. And that's really how I learned yoga. Because this is before, I don't even know if like YouTube was like a big thing at this point. Yes. But DVD, all the way.
For the listeners and the viewers, DVDs were a disc, and there was a machine that we had to put the disc into if we wanted to watch a program or a movie of any kind, or indeed an instructional video.
Right, for any of the youths listening just now. But then when I did want to go to the yoga studios, it would be like the drop-in community class, the like food donation class and whatever. So I felt out of place because I just could not afford it. And then I would go into these studios and it would be all, they're selling these retreats that were thousands of dollars in Mexico and Bali and these teacher trainings that I would never be able to afford. And everyone was wearing Lululemon at the time because Lululemon was like really taking off at this time.
Yes.
And everyone was in Lululemons and like, oh my God, I could never afford Lululemon. Like, are you kidding me? So I was just like, what am I doing here? Like, I was just bombarded unintentionally, but bombarded with like, you're not enough. You don't have enough. You can't afford this. There's like a clique here. There's like a cool kids club. We're all off to Mexico and you'll never, ever be able to afford this, know? And I just was like, I don't know how I didn't turn away from it. And I just kept moving towards it for some reason. But I think this is how Cali was born.
Yep.
But I'm so glad that I didn't try to fit into that. But I will say, I know I'm talking a lot, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to keep going here.
Keep going.
I will say, so then I opened up Cali when I had just turned 27, which, my God, I was such a baby. I didn't know what I was doing,
And also a babe.
A babe and a baby.
Always been a babe, man.
As you know, Claire, because you have been with me, 10 fucking years, which we need to talk about. And I cannot thank you enough for that. So you would have...
back to you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Stop. But 10 years ago, as you'll know, Claire, I opened up Cali and it wasn't what it is today. It was very white. And I don't mean literally, although it was very white population.
I was going to say there's a lot of white people in Glasgow.
It is still Scotland, yes. But it wasn't, there was no black, there was no imagery of Cali. You'll remember this. We had like a logo that meant nothing to me with colors that meant nothing to me. It was very like white IKEA furniture because I still felt in those first few years, like it took me a while to really be like, no, I'm not afraid to like really do this my way with my expression. I still felt like, well, if it's going to be a yoga studio, and I was under pressure because I needed to make money from this or I had to go home because I was broke as hell. So I felt the pressure of like, if I'm going to do this, well, of course it has to be white walls. Of course it has to be like very vanilla, very pretty, aesthetically, like I would have never thought right off the bat to have a room that was like painted all black. Now that's kind of cool. Like you see so many studios doing that. I don't know where'd you get that idea. But anyways, I would have never had the courage to do that right off the bat. So I still sort of fell prey to conforming and doing what I thought people wanted in those first few years.
That's so understandable when you're starting something from scratch. And I think to a degree as well, you actually, when you want people who have never met you and don't know you in the door, you have to give them a spoonful of sugar.
Right? And I wanted them to like me. I had no friends, Claire. I didn't know anybody.
Unimaginable.
I didn't know anyone.
Unimaginable.
You were like one of my first friends.
Raging, man.
Yeah.
But no, but I think as well that got people in the door. And then what happens is that as we all built and on that community, got to know one another a lot more, what happens is people will go with you.
Yes.
People will come with you.
Yes.
And they will enjoy that journey. And guess what? as we found, if they don't enjoy it, they will go, and that's okay too.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think that, like, it's just through time and the success of the Cali Collective that, and don't let me speak for you if this isn't true, but I do feel, particularly in the last few years, you trust a lot more. That you are able,
yes, that's true.
That you are able to cast that net, or you throw the chips that you want to throw, do things that you want to do, and that all will be well.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. And yeah, you'll know back in the early, maybe like the first 5 years, I was just so consumed with fear.
But it's so scary. Not everybody's doing what you do.
Thank
Did
you.
you know that?
Stop. But like there was no backup plan for me. It had to work. There was no plan B. The plan B was go back to Canada.
Yeah.
So it was either I make this work. I didn't have and still don't have a ton of role models in the community, which is great because I have Callie herself, and that's what I look towards. But it's not like I could look to someone who had done this before that I really admired, and which again is good because I wouldn't have wanted to just like copy and paste what they did. But I felt like there's no leadership here for me. I don't know what I'm doing. We need to make money. The costs are extortionate to be running this studio and just become even more eye-watering every year.
Yep.
I didn't trust myself. Like my insecurities, they didn't just like go like that. It's the never-ending tending. Like I still had a lot of stuff, a lot of insecurities that I was being confronted with as a business owner. And, you know, I still have days where I'm like, am I doing a good job at this? Like the amount of times I've like cried to my therapist being like, I don't think I'm the best person to be doing this. Like, I think someone else should be doing this. I don't have the skills. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the leadership, which of course is just my own insecurities.
And it's also completely normal.
It is totally.
And I would also just want to quickly interject. See, the people who are really shit at doing stuff, they're never asking themselves if they're shit at it. They're never the people who are inquiring or doubting whether they're doing the best job.
Right.
I always, in those moments of insecurity and self-doubt, I think it's really, really important to remind yourself that is actually the greatest signifier of caring that there could be, because you just care so much. And there's so much love in what you are doing that, of course, there is fear. Of course, there is doubt. Of course, there is a feeling of these shoes are too big for me to be filling. And I think that's all so normal.
Yeah.
It's also just not true.
Yeah.
It's just not true. Because
Totally.
you're already doing it. Never mind all this, I can't do it. Because you're
I
doing
was.
it.
I know.
As you're doing it. But we can all be guilty of that. I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. Guess what? Bitch, you've been doing it for a while.
Thank you. Yeah, and the thing is, and I think this is what helped me really trust, is that we've never, like, there's been times where, like, sure, it's tight, or COVID hits, and it's like, okay, how do I do this? But, like, we've always been okay.
Yeah.
No matter what. Like, the world got shut down and we were okay. Or people come and go and we're okay. Members come and go and we're okay. New taxes, new whatever. And it's like, we always do okay.
Yeah.
And so after a certain amount of time, I had to check myself and be like, Steph, your stories are bullshit because you're fine. You're fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. But as you brought up, this is another reason why this has been so hard over the years, is because this is my heart and soul. This is not just a job. It's not just, and you know, it's okay to have things that are just a jobs to you. It just so happens that like my passion, greatest love in my life, is also my livelihood. And a lot, as a studio owner, a lot sort of hangs on, like, I'm the last to get paid, right?
Yeah.
So
right.
I things have to work in order for me for this to be my livelihood. And I think that's why in those early years, and bless your heart for staying, because I know that I haven't always been easy to work with, but in those early years, like, I wanted a tight grasp on everything and everyone, and I wanted to control everything because I was scared. And then with time, I was like, Steph, you can let go a little bit. Like everything's going to be okay. And I found actually, you know what actually made me really go, oh, okay, this is interesting. Do you remember, this would be like pre-COVID, where I would actually leave the studio for like good chunks of time, like 3 months. I'd go to Canada for 3 months or Bali or whatever.
Yep.
And the studio always did so well when I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. There's something to this. Like, how come it's running fine? Sales are great. Everyone's happy, like, when you're not there. And I realized that, like, sometimes or often I was just getting in my own way by trying to control so much. And I think there's something that just comes with time where I see that, like, you, for example, like, you've been with me for 10 years. Scott's been with me for 10 years. Max has been with me for, like, 7, 8 years. Emily's been with me for God knows how long. And I'm like, they're not leaving. Like, everything's okay. You're doing okay.
Absolutely.
You can trust.
Absolutely. And that's, you know, and we've all had our journeys in terms of personalities, personal life, professional life. And I think as well, you must remember, sure, of course, it's really good for us to kind of go, okay, I can actually sit back and go, the way that I approached XYZ or that period in my life, was I the easiest person to work with? But it was true of all of us.
Yeah.
You know, I spent years, I mean, oh my God, Claire, the people pleasing, it's just, and it's regrettable, but I don't regret it, because I think, you know, when you try to please everybody, you actually just don't please anyone, and least of all yourself. And I think that part of my learning curve professionally and being involved with the Cali Collective and working alongside you for the amount of time that I have done is I actually had to kind of learn along the way, guess what? Steph knows if you're talking shit. She can see through you. She has like this X-ray emotional vision, and she will know if you're full of shit, Claire.
Kind of.
Even if you don't know that you're full of shit, and sometimes she'll tell you so, and you're going to have to go and think about that. And that's been so good for me, because I think I can now say at this point in my life and in my career, I'm not full of shit anymore.
No.
And I love to say yes, but actually I'm not conforming to please people personally or professionally or anything like the same level.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a much better teacher for it as well.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you've always had your own style. You've always...
Thanks.
You know, you've always had your own imprint. You've always had your own identity. You've always had your own style. I have not. I have not. And I think that it's certainly in yoga teaching, I would constantly be making comparisons to other people, or that I didn't deserve my place where I was. And I found it very difficult to take constructive criticism and not weep for a week.
Yeah.
Whereas actually, when I managed to kind of get a clue, be myself a bit more, and reflect on sort of feedback and grow as a person and grow as a teacher, not only do I know I got better, but I also just felt so much better.
Yeah.
You know, you don't realise until it's on reflection how shitty it feels to walk into a room and not feel like you're being yourself.
Oh.
It's like, it's that source of anxiety and stress. I don't now walk out from a class and say, oh my God, was that any good? Was that all right?
Yeah.
You know, I know that what I've offered is coming from who I am, my heart, my soul, how I practice. And to a certain degree, if that doesn't vibe with somebody, that's okay, because somebody else will vibe with them. And guess what? Not everybody has to like me.
Yep. Not everybody does.
Not everybody does like me. I mean, those people are tossers.
They're idiots. but whatever.
Those three people.
I think that's what's been so good in a weird way about there being so many more yoga studios open in Glasgow. It's that it's helped me really clarify who our people are.
Yes.
And before I was trying to cater to everybody because we were one of the only vinyasa studios, and now we're not. And so I'm like, great. That's actually when I relaxed a bit more, weirdly, because then I was like, great, we can really double down on like what we're about and who we want to attract.
Yeah.
And I think we get for me, I notice in my classes a lot more people who really do vibe with us and what I'm teaching than before. Like, for example, now if I were to teach mantra in class, no one would be surprised. And they're all singing along with me.
Yes.
But 10 years ago, it wouldn't have been that. That would not have been the response in the room. So it's good just with time to be able to clarify who we are as teachers and as we as people grow and age and, become wiser, hopefully. But the studio is doing the same thing. The studio is aging as well and figuring out who we actually
and
can
really
be of service
maturing.
to.
I think doesn't it feel like much more solid ground to stand on? Rather than asking 3,000 people what their needs are, getting 3,000 different answers and trying to cater to them all, actually doing the work of looking at, okay, no, hang on, what do we stand for? What does Cali stand for? And guess what? That's what we're offering.
Right.
And that feels a lot calmer. That feels a lot steadier than constantly trying to meet other folk where they might be at that moment in time.
And knowing that the person who's attracted to Cali is going to be a very specific person. So we're not going to have packed classes every single day. It's just, there's just not that volume of people who really get Cali and really want to practice in the way that we have to offer. So there's also that where I'm like, oh God, I don't need to worry about that anymore. We're fine. We're fine.
Yeah.
I wanted to circle back and ask you some questions about. Okay. We Claire and I spoke before this about this is just going to be a weepy chat, and this is one of those moments where I'm like, I might cry, but I think I'll be okay.
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 Ooh, I've been quite strong actually. So
you
far.
have been surprisingly strong.
Let's see. Usually all I have to do is think about crying and it begins.
Well, it would be good tears if I do get tears, but it's when I reflect on the studio and where we are now, I can say with certainty, with 100% confidence, that Callie would not be where she is without you.
Don't you do this to
I'm doing
me.
it. Or without, the other teachers. Everyone has their own imprint, their own mark. But you've been with me the longest. And God, we've been through so much together. And I shudder to think what the studio would be like without you, because you've left such a solid mark and imprint and helped, pave the way for where Callie's gone. And I'm forever indebted to you for that. I don't know why anyone would willingly work with me for so long. But one of the things that I admire so much about you is your ability. Like, you have a cult following at Callie. A cult following at the Cali Collective. Oh. It is a nightmare, by the way, to get your classes subbed on Saturday because people don't want to come. I could have it could be me subbing, it doesn't matter who is subbing. The people want Claire Innes Martin. So what is it? One of the things that I think, first of all, you're hilarious, and I think people really feel welcomed when you're just so at ease with your teacher, as you had that experience with Laura McCrimmon. Yeah. There's the obvious things, like you're just a phenomenal teacher, you're very highly skilled, your sequencing, all of that is incredible. But I think I'm going to speak on behalf of your cult following here. You create such a unique, welcoming, warm space where I would drop dead if someone came to your class and felt like they didn't belong. Like you create a space of belonging in your classes, which is not easy to do. So my question to you is kind of two-parter. Okay. What does it mean to you to create a space of belonging? And how do you do it?
Okay. Okay. I think what it means to me to create a space of belonging is kind of everything, because I think if you've ever known how it feels to not belong and not know where your home is and not know who your people are, that you want to facilitate an environment and to foster relationships with people that save them from ever feeling that way as long as they're with you. Yeah. You know?
Yes, I do.
So that's a big motivator for me, is just wanting to offer that sense to people because of the knowledge of how awful it feels to have the opposite. And you know, I spent a whole lot of my life being told, not just me, but being told by other people that I was wrong. That I didn't fit. Yeah. And that I wasn't this and I wasn't that, and I wasn't ever going to be. And then coming into yoga, I found so much more than I ever imagined. Like friendship and that, as I say, that belonging, but also over time a real celebration of difference. And that's what kind of kept me at it.
Beautiful.
So yeah, when it comes to setting up that kind of space, in a way, I can't do anything but that, because that's also, it's about who you are. Yeah. You know? And so when people come into the yoga space with me, whether they like it or not, that's what they're going to get. I can't make a square peg fit in a round hole. And as I say, that makes it really fine if it isn't for them. But then the second part of your question was, oh my God,
how do you actually do it? Like for yoga teachers out there listening.
Did you do it? Well, you just be your fucking self, don't you?
That's the thing.
But that's really scary and really hard. And that's why I was saying it took me years to get there. Yeah. To kind of get there. And also yourself is never a finished product. Yeah. Either. But I kind of really feel that I've a part of how I've been able to facilitate whatever environment I create for people is also because those people have supported me through that and stuck with me and let me know that I belong with them too. It's very reciprocal. It's very reciprocal. I don't think any of us is walking into an environment of any kind of yoga practice or any learning around the teachings of yoga and just giving them from ourselves. Like, I think that's quite a narcissistic view. It is so reciprocal. So reciprocal.
It should be, yeah.
And that's why the vibes are so fucking great, man. Because like they're all amazing. Do you know? I was in a wonderful yoga class with our Emily on Tuesday last week. Oh my God, I had such a great time. So I loved it. But I'm in the middle of that practice, and I suddenly kind of had that wee outer body experience. I was like, Jesus, it's quiet in here.
Your classes are not quiet.
My classes are rowdy.
Yeah.
By comparison to some. People will swear at me.
And you swear at them.
Of course I do. I swear around at, you know, we all need swear jars. But, and people will they will feed back. And again, that's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I don't need somebody to give me their tight 10 stand-up routine in a class. Nobody does. But they will give me a little feedback, you know, and that's something that I also really love, and it's really fun. But I also so enjoyed the difference of that practice, because I was like, everyone's so polite.
Yeah.
Nobody's telling Emily to get to fuck.
Right. I know. Right?
Or get your hands off me. I've had that as well.
Get your hands off me. I've had that.
Or get away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I had don't look at me the other day.
Oh, don't look at me.
Don't look at me. It was in Reformer. It's a different kind of vibe. But yeah, this is what I love about your classes. And like with all of the teachers at Cali, there's no yoga voice. Like no one steps onto the mat as a teacher and like suddenly their voice is different and they're different. It's like you talk exactly how you're talking to me right now is how you talk in class. And you're talking to them, swearing. There's heavy metal being played in the background. Or definitely some Smashing Pumpkins along those lines.
Yes, I have managed to get some Smashing Pumpkins in. But I will add to this as well. I feel very, very protective of our students and community. Yeah. And I think that's another thing about the environment that you foster. Like, I feel very, very genuinely interested in them and protective of them and their peace. Yeah. And also, certainly this is true, I think, of our studio environment. When we get new people coming in the door, I am more convinced than ever that none of them are really approaching yoga for the first time because they're in the best fucking place they've ever been in their lives. I think they come needing something or needing something done away with. Yeah. And I know that feeling as well. So I think that's very important to me. It's not, I wouldn't want to be so egocentric as to say that, oh yes, I can facilitate that for people. But I think that I'm very protective of wanting to preserve that person's space to share or to not share, to experience exactly what they need to experience. Yeah. It's not particularly unusual, I think, in my classes for someone to have a bit of an emotional reaction, aside from the get away from me, the fuck,
of course.
But you know, like maybe it's Shavasana time or after practice, and what gives me an awful lot of encouragement and an awful lot of satisfaction, I suppose, is that those people feel safe to express that. Yeah, safety is really important.
It is.
Because you can't feel safe if you don't feel that you belong.
Great quote right there. Great quote.
Put it on a pair of pants. Merch.
Right? Merch.
No, you can't fit that on a pair of pants. Well, maybe on my butt you could.
So, question for you. My initial question was, what would you say to someone who's wanting to start yoga and they're like, no, I don't fit in. That's not for me. But I actually think the better question is, what would you say to yourself, the gothy misfit gal who was first approaching yoga and maybe not feeling like you fit in?
Yeah, I would say that to a certain degree, honey, just get on with it, because you're going to find your way. And also, that little bee in your bonnet, let it keep buzzing. Be that bit defiant, you know, like push against those feelings that are within yourself. And it's okay to keep saying, I can't do this, I'm not capable of this, because you will prove yourself wrong time and time again. Actually, without fail, you will prove yourself wrong if you just keep practicing, if you just keep showing up.
Great segue for us to talk about commitment and longevity with practice. Because, as we've mentioned, you have now been teaching with me just shy of 10 years, which is bananas. Absolutely bananas. And a lot of that time has been the same classes, the Saturday morning classes.
I remember when I very first started, I was doing the Friday, the Kula class.
Oh my God, so you were.
Because I was just a wee baby teacher and I never taught anybody before. And I loved it. loved that, but quite quickly took on Saturday classes.
Yeah.
And how many times have we had a wee chat about Saturdays and you're like, do you want to change things up? And I'm like, oh, I don't know, maybe I do want to change things up. And then I go on Saturday and I'm like, I'm never giving them up. I'm never giving them away.
Right. There's something, I was thinking about this the other day. This might be a little bit of a tangent, so bear with. I feel like with a common, I don't agree with this, but like a common path that I think yoga teachers feel like they should be on. You do your teacher training. You start teaching maybe at like, maybe a studio if you're lucky, but probably start doing your own thing, community center, subbing.
Yes.
Then you get in with a studio.
Yeah.
Then you start teaching workshops, maybe courses. Then you start doing your retreats. Then you might go on to doing teacher trainings and have a yoga school and teaching teachers. And then you go maybe become a studio owner and on that trajectory, and I've tried that, just everybody knows that. Like I thought that was the path. It's not my path. I've learned with time, and we'll circle back to this, but I learned with time what I'm really passionate about is longevity. I want to see the same people every single week. And when they're not there, I'm like, where were you? Like there's an expectation there that we are in this together for years. That's what I love. Whereas if you teach on a retreat, you might teach someone really intensely for 5 days and then you don't see them
never
again.
see them again.
Right? And I think that, you know, on Instagram and whatever, it's like, oh my God, wow, that person's not even teaching. They're just doing teacher trainings or they're just doing retreats and wow, that's amazing. But I don't think there's enough credit given to those people such as yourself who that's not your path. Your path has been showing up every Saturday morning for almost a decade. Like there's, how many people can say that?
Look, I'm a real girlfriend type. I'm not one to sleep around. I'm not one for that. I'm a commitment gal.
So bless you for it. Love you. It's great for business. So thank you. Thank you.
No.
But tell me, because I think it is a unique position for a yoga teacher. I don't think that there's many teachers who can say, yeah, I've been teaching the same class for almost a decade, or even at the same place for almost a decade. What have you learned from teaching that consistently in general and also at the same place? We can get to that after.
Okay. Yeah, from teaching that consistently in general, I just think it's just been a real path of like, as I've come into myself more and my own confidence, I've just learned what I'm all about and what I'm not all about. And rather than trying to structure my classes in the way of someone that I really admire, I feel a lot more confident to do my own thing. And as long as I know anatomically and everything like that, physically, I'm keeping people safe, I don't really care if XYZ people don't do it like that. Because guess what? That's great. That's what makes us unique and different and wonderful. So I question that an awful lot less than I used to. And I think I've also really, really learned, I definitely thought when I was in my first few years of practice and certainly first few years of teaching, that if I didn't do this, that, and the next thing, if I didn't start to do courses, if I didn't start to do maybe work on retreats, if I didn't even just go and visit countries, I thought like if I don't go to India, I'm not a real teacher. But I am a real teacher. I'm real.
You are.
I'm here.
Yes.
I'm real. And actually, whereas I remember one time in a real state saying to you when I was really upset, and I remember saying to you, I've had such a small life. And I felt so small. And that I didn't have anything to bring to anyone. Anything to offer. And it's, some things are true. I've never been to India. I've never been a Lululemon ambassador. I used to think that if I was one of those, that would be me complete.
But it used to be a thing.
Yeah.
That was the goal.
Yep. But what I've learned is that what I offer is all of this life and all of this love that I have had, and also all of this experience of being Glaswegian, being in Glasgow, being in this yoga community.
Yeah.
You know, I've learned that actually I still have so much to offer.
Amen. Yeah,
and I'm
you
going
do.
to keep offering it as well.
Yeah, as you should.
And they're going to take it.
They better. Yes, thank you so much for bringing that up, especially for teachers listening. There's like this thing where teachers just like hoard trainings. It's like they're collecting hours.
How many hours?
Right, so that they can say that they're an expert at this. And it's like, hang on a second. There's something to be said about just teaching simple, like just simply teaching a 60-minute class. And it doesn't need to be that you become a teacher's teacher or whatever people think the goal is. Because what's really freaking hard is, like, you have taught some students. I mean, I can't think off the top of my head who's the longest, but there's got to be people who've been with us for what, 6, 7, 8, 9 years?
Oh, yeah, totally.
And you have retained that. Like, they still want to come and practice with you after all these years, after they've had babies or they've gone through divorce or someone's died or whatever. Like, they're still coming to you.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
It's very meaningful to me.
Yeah.
It's like, what can you say about that? Of course I'm grateful, but it's because we're there with each other. Because they've also been there with me. They might not have known it all the time, but they've been there with me when I've been going through some real shit as well. Yeah. And they've offered me that space, and they've placed value on me that I could never have dreamed of. And actually, over just about 10 years, all of these people that have been with me for whatever period of time, I have to credit them, and that includes all of the other teachers at Cali and you as well, with finally convincing me to value myself. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And that's powerful. That'll keep you coming back week after week after week after week. That'll keep you coming back. Yeah. Yeah. You know, those relationships and what they've given me. Yeah. Quite selfish, actually, in a way.
It's not selfish. It's relational. It's the student-teacher dynamic is a relationship. Yeah. And I completely agree. Like, I don't think the students have any idea how many times I've come in.
Oh my God.
And I've not been great.
Oh,
and
man.
all I've wanted, and I just want to teach. I just want to teach. I just want to teach you guys. And I'm so different on the other end. You feel so different on the other end.
Yeah, I've even had, and I think this is okay to say, I've definitely had times where I've been walking to the studio and going, I have no idea how I'm going to do this. Yeah. I have no idea how I'm going to open my mouth and do this. Yeah. And be with people. And it is magic to come into Cali and then meet the faces of people there. It has a magic healing effect for that time. There has never been a single time where that feeling has carried over to the moment that things begin. And that's not even the class beginning. That's people coming in and saying hello. Yep. It's just, it's transformative. And I think that a lot of people maybe don't appreciate that as well. I think that they come and they are just given something. Yeah. But they give so much. Yes. And not, by the way, just to us, but to the other people in that space. God, yes. You know, the friendships that are fostered within these kind of ongoing classes when people are attending classes. I mean, just thinking recently of, you know, a member of our yoga community who's in her kind of infancy. She's been coming for a number of months, but I know for a fact that she has met people who are now friends who love her and who she loves, who she would never have met in any other. There would be no reason for them to meet.
Yeah.
No reason on the earth.
It's so cute.
For them to meet one another.
It's so cute.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's another thing as well, Steph, because you know how when you're saying about, well, Callie attracts a certain type of person, I don't know, I think we're a bit more diverse than you think, because on paper, I'm thinking of this particular person, but some other people as well, if we described the studio and described what we do, they would say, well, that's not for me, thank you.
Yes.
But they've come in and given it a wee try, and just based on that experience, they've gone, oh, guess what? This is for me, actually.
Right. But I think, agreed with you. And I think that there is something that maybe someone, yes, on paper, they're like, this is not the studio for me, but there's still something that's like pulling them, like a curiosity.
Yes.
To like try.
Yes.
And they might not be able to articulate what that is.
Yes.
You know, there's just someone the other week there who was saying they were looking at our website and another studio's website, and he was like, I don't know, I just picked yours. And I was like, you don't have to know, but there was obviously something that pulled you in to the darkness.
Yes. Yes.
So part 2, now I'm not looking for any specific answers, and you're not going to offend me.
Okay.
But it's not just that you've been teaching consistently for 10 years. You've been teaching consistently at the same studio with the same team to the same students. And obviously, you know, Callie's gone through transformations. We went through COVID together. Yes. We've moved space together.
I've had so many hairdos, you can't even believe it.
You've had so many hairdos.
Man. So many hairdos, yes.
Oh, man, we need to dig up pictures and show the world. But what has your experience been like teaching consistently with the same team and with the same at the same place for so long?
I mean, really great.
Okay.
Apart from anything else, like
there must have been times where you've been pulled to like be curious about like the new shiny studios.
Of course, there have been times as well as, you know, because as you said, with us having our relationship of like a decade now, in terms of like a working relationship, and like I definitely feel that there probably one time more than others, but there have been times where I thought, I think I need to diversify here. I think I need to, and I have taught in other studios, and I've taught in other environments in general. Gyms are interesting places to teach in. And by the way, I have to say, I have been so welcomed in those environments. Yeah. And I've certainly not felt uncomfortable, but they're not home. You know? Yeah. There's nowhere else I want to go. And that's it. You know, I think it's funny because when I did my yoga teacher training, I did it in Glasgow with Judy at Merchant City. And I think that was the beginning of me being attracted in practice and in professional life to straightforward people who didn't take any shite. Which... And to be honest, that was a tricky choice for me to make then, because I had a lot of shite to give, a lot of shit in here. But I think somewhere spiritually within me, I knew that was going to be the practice for me. I needed people to call me on stuff and say, no, this isn't you. Where are you? And I've had 10 years of that from my colleagues at Callie. Yeah. And you all have different styles, but you all don't take any shite.
No, we don't. And I think this sounds so cheesy and eye roll and barf, but I think we love each other so much.
And that's why we want each one of us to be so wholly and entirely and beautifully ourselves.
Yes.
And that's why we will tell each other.
Yep.
And that's why we will ask difficult questions of one another and of ourselves.
Yeah.
It makes us better as friends, it makes us better as colleagues, and it makes us better as people who are sharing this practice with others. Yeah. Like, and that is probably, I think, what is not only what has kept me so committed as Callie's girlfriend, one of Callie's girlfriends all these years, but like, I think that is something I've never experienced anywhere else. You know,
special.
And some might say, oh well, if you had stayed teaching here or there, maybe you would have experienced that level of community and that kind of relationship. But I am here to say, no, I fucking wouldn't. And then that's the first thing. And then the second thing is, okay, but why search for something you already have elsewhere?
Yeah.
You know?
Great, thank you.
You know.
Yeah, one thing I will give myself some huge credit for is I am very good at choosing the team.
Very good at choosing.
And
good. Also, listeners and viewers, she's also very good at recognising when maybe something isn't fitting.
Yeah, let's clarify. Although I am very good at bringing people on, I have made mistakes.
Oh, but like, oh my God. But your speed at knowing
thank you
when a mistake has been made, and then if that was me, they'd still be here.
Thank you.
And we'd all be going, oh my God, you know.
Yes.
Like, because like you've got enough backbone, you know.
Thank you. I didn't always. But one of the things with that is like being okay with knowing that there's people out there who do not like me. And that's okay. And they'll have their version of the story and I've got mine. And
yes, fine, isn't it? It's totally fine. It's totally fine.
I don't really fit nice.
As well.
But yes, I have become much more.
Yeah. And also as well, I think, you know, when people aren't a fit in a working environment, that's okay, because guess what? They'll go be fit somewhere else.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean, like, it's the same as if somebody would come to my class and go, what in the hell? Never again with her. That's okay. That's okay.
Bitch.
Because you can go somewhere else and find somebody. I'm a bitch. But like, you can go somewhere else and find somebody who does vibe with you. They're not saying I'm a sack of shite. They're just saying I'm not for them.
Right. They might be calling you a sack of shite.
They might be calling me a sack of shite. But that's not true. They just have very poor taste.
Yes.
No, it's just, as I say, it's just not, it doesn't vibe with them. I mean, and we've all experienced that, by the way. Oh my God. I remember before I found Callie, and in the terrible purgatory in between period, when Laura had the absolute audacity to desert me,
to progress a doctor
in her life and career and move away from me.
Don't know what
and not
she's
even
thinking.
take me to live with her.
Nope.
Come on. But I remember crying and saying at the time to Grant, I think I'm never going to practice yoga again. I think I'm just going to lose it all. I'm never going to find a place. And trying a few different studios. Now, straight away, Laura said to me, I think you need to go to this place called the Callie Collective. And I was like, oh yeah? You said I need to go there. You said I need to go there and you deserted me. Guess what? I'll try 5 other studios before I even darken the door of the Callie Collective. And some were fine. But I do remember being in a class and actually thinking, could I leave? Could I just leave? Like half an hour in? Like, could I just walk out of this class? Now, I hope nobody ever feels that way with me. But also, if they did, I'd be more okay with them walking now.
I know it would be a bit jarring, but
it would. I did have it happen to me one time. Not at Callie. Not at Callie. It was very early in my career.
Oh no.
And somebody got very angry during core work.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so that was their stuff.
Well, I don't think they thought it was their stuff. I think they thought it was all my stuff, actually. Because they got up and they had been at the back of the studio that I was teaching in, got up, rolled up their mat quite loudly, put it under their arm and walked past me saying, I don't have to put up with this shit.
Oh, okay. Bye-bye then.
And actually, it's funny that because the way my personality and confidence was at the time, I'm actually a little surprised myself that I didn't run after them. But I remember just being very conscious that I had an awful lot of other people there who were not losing their minds. Yeah. And I had to say to everybody, just to check in, I hope that you're all okay. And I just want to just explain that I will not be following that person to inquire about their well-being, because physically they're absolutely fine. Yeah. They're just really angry with me.
Yeah. And P.S. Stay in fucking plank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guess what? You've got 3 more rounds of this to go.
Yeah, exactly. You are known for giving a good core session in a yoga class.
I say to people as well, because they will moan. It's funny when people moan and then they come back week after week.
Of course they'll moan.
Or, you know, I'll say to dear friends, you know, did you know I didn't hold a gun to your head? You can stop at any time. I say to people, they can stop at any time. Some teachers will not allow you to stop at any time. But I will say to people, that's fine. You have your autonomy. You make your own decisions. Yep. And I'll offer options, and they all go for the hardest ones.
I know they do.
And then they all moan at me.
I know they do.
They all moan at me.
I'm teaching the same people.
But people must remember that's what we all go for. If I go to a Steph Wall class and there's no point at which I'm like, do not perceive me. Do not walk near to me.
Then it's not a Steph Wall.
Then that's not what I came for.
No.
It's not what I came for.
Don't look at me. Someone said, don't look at me.
Don't look at me. Yeah.
Right?
Don't look at me.
I deserved it.
What they don't realise all the time is that actually gives us energy.
I know. I fucking love it.
I'm like, keep it coming.
I love when you get the daggers, the eye daggers. I can feel it.
Some people are very good at doing that.
Very
and
good.
It's very impressive in the Destroyer studio because they're doing that in the dark.
I know, and you can still see it.
You know what it is. You feel it.
You feel it. You can feel them. Yeah.
Somebody's got their voodoo doll out, putting a pin in it. Yeah, me too.
Claire.
Yes.
What have you learned the most from your students after this long?
This is going to sound really, really corny. But no, I've definitely learned a lot about love. A lot about love. I've definitely learned a lot about keeping perspective on your own bullshit.
Okay.
Just generally speaking, I think just because you are given the honour of sometimes people sharing their own life experience, and it never fails to give me a big slap of perspective on my own crap.
Yeah.
Which is a huge gift. But I think actually maybe one of the biggest takeaways that I've learned from my students is they have given me so much more confidence to practice in my own way and be more responsive to my energy and what my needs actually are on the day of my practice. Because I think one of the things that I definitely have in my classes, and I think we all have to, at least in some of our classes, is that there's quite a diversity of bodies, age,
yeah,
and also aims for practice, and it has given me so much confidence to see people growing in their practice, working with their bodies, and actually to be able to sort of say, well, do you know what? I don't give a fuck about doing that. I'm over here in my lane, having the confidence to do my own thing, and this is what makes me happy. And I've seen that with people both taking on great feats of physical endurance and bendiness, and also people saying, hey, guess what? I might need to go into child's pose for 20 minutes today. Is that cool with you?
I love that.
You know, and I definitely feel that I've learned an awful lot from that about just being confident to just do your own thing.
Do your own thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
I did learn a lot from people about that.
God, we owe so much. I shouldn't say but we have learned so much from our students.
Totally. Oh
my God.
so much.
Oh my
And
God.
I've learned how to cue things a lot better.
Yes.
I remember,
Good one.
Sometimes using terminologies and language, and you kind of learn that they don't really feel like you. I remember somebody saying to me, and this is fine. This is fine. You can say this. I still sometimes say it and catch myself. But they were like, what are you talking about when you say sit bones? What are sit bones?
Fair.
And I thought, and I missed a few seconds, and I was like, your arse.
Yeah.
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 Those,
could just say
that the feeling of the bony bits in your
Yeah.
arse. And then they said to me, well, why don't you just say your bum? Why don't you just say?
Fair.
And I was like, why don't I just say your bum?
Right.
And now I'm never stopping talking about your bum and your arse. And
that's okay.
yeah, absolutely.
It's very clear.
Yeah, but effective cueing is something that definitely way more. Don't get me wrong, I've done some amazing training on effective sequencing and cueing, but the best learning that I've done has been from feedback from students who come, because they can tell you, because they're actually experiencing it in their class, and if they can't make head nor tail of what you're saying, you need to take a look at it, sweetie.
And when you're teaching the same students for a long period of time, you can't say the same thing in Warrior 2. Like, they need to hear it said differently.
Totally.
And they don't care about how their foot is relative to the long edge of the mat or the whatever, because they've done it 100 times.
Yes.
So you have to really deepen into okay, what else can I talk about here?
Yep.
That is getting into the details and growing with them.
Yep.
Otherwise
Definitely.
they'll plateau. And
so true. Have you ever had the experience of when you cue something and unanimously either almost everybody or everybody just doesn't do at all what you have asked them to do? It's rare, but I've definitely had it happen. And again, that feels like the nightmare.
Yes.
I'm looking down to check, am I naked from the waist down? Because I might be in a bad dream here.
I do know what you mean.
And that's people also giving you feedback that whatever you're saying, honey, ain't communicating the way you think it is,
Yeah.
So I think that could be really powerful. And then on the other side, people will say, I think certainly in our community, people are really fantastic for saying the positive stuff. I loved the way you described this movement. When I was approaching this posture and you said this, I suddenly felt like something clicked for me. And so you take that with you as well. So I've learned an awful lot about cueing and teaching in general from them.
God, you have to continue developing and growing when you're teaching the same people over the span of years.
Totally.
Right? It really makes you deepen into your teachings. You have to.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to. And yeah. I know, honey. And actually, I think that it's in doing that, again, it's reciprocal, because as far as I can tell, I'm certainly not getting bored, and I don't think they're getting bored either. And we've been hanging out for a while now, so.
Claire, I've been teaching in October, it will be 15 years. And I am 15
We need to do something for that.
Right? And most of that is full time. I'd say the first maybe couple years was kind of casual. And I'm still waiting to get bored.
Yeah.
I'm not bored. I've never been bored or uninspired. It's so strange. I'm waiting. I'm sure it's coming, but it hasn't come yet.
I don't think it is coming, Steph. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. This is my jam.
I don't think it is. I think you're always finding more. I
agree. When you think about the last 10 years of teaching, what do you think has been the biggest change in the yoga community in general, but maybe even Glasgow specifically? Wherever you want to take that. But what's been the biggest change, or what have you noticed has changed the most over 10 years?
I think that there isn't a uniform anymore. Be that the clothing that people wear, the way that they present themselves, or just conversation and the vibes that people give. I think that there's a lot less judgment or elitism in yoga.
Yeah.
I think that it truly has become more of a safe and diverse space for a great breadth of people and experiences. And I think, yeah, they're where I see the biggest changes. Because there has to be a reason for somebody like me why I thought, again, if I could be a clothing ambassador, somehow my life would be fulfilled and complete, and I would be a much better yogi. And there has to be something that's changed that I can't summon a fuck to give about any of that anymore. I can't find one. I haven't one to shake. None. Zero.
Yeah.
You know, and so, and I don't think that I'm alone in that change. So I think the shift, I wonder what it's been. Probably not any one thing. I think, you know, yoga, and certainly in Glasgow, in the yoga community in Glasgow, has not just changed because the culture within itself is because of what people have experienced and been through individually and societally over like the last decade.
Right.
We are not where we were.
Nope.
10 years ago.
Yeah, in so many ways.
And we can't pretend that we are. I think that the bullshit filter is very much on in Glasgow. I think people are having a lot less time for fluff.
Yeah.
And I think that probably as well, economically, I think that the community is very much more considerate of where they are investing their time and their money, what they stand for, and what it means to be attending, participating in a space. I think that the community's become a lot more discerning than it once was.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think that's good.
Yeah, I do too.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that we all have to agree on what's right and what's wrong at all. Like, that's part of the richness of life and conversation and experience. But I think that people, have become a lot more discerning and a lot less elitist.
What a great change.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely see a lot more positive than negative. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, me too. I mean, at the end of the day, the more people that have access to yoga and high quality yoga,
the better.
The better.
Oh, it just gives me so much joy when I see anybody who, like you or like me, in their own way, is coming in and actually discovering this practice for themselves. And I get to see that and witness that and watch them grow with that. It's just the best. I love it. I love when a great big muscly person comes to do yoga and they're so scared.
Right?
So scared.
Yeah.
Like, it could be the toughest of the tough.
Yeah.
Tough guys. And they're so scared of not being able to touch their toes. That's the thing that they'll always say at first. I can't touch my toes. I'm like, that's what you're here for, honey.
I know, right? The amount of people say, I can't come because I'm not flexible. And you're like, what? That's why you come.
But then it gives me so much encouragement to try new things myself.
Yeah.
When I see people getting out of their comfort zones like that and having a go. It's like,
awesome.
It gives me so much life. And I think there's a lot more of that in Glasgow's yoga community now. I think we see a lot of people coming through our door that we wouldn't have seen 10, 15 years ago. We just wouldn't.
Absolutely.
And how great, because now we get to know them. Oh,
no.
How great.
So great.
So good. So good.
Yeah. I mean, it's changed a lot. It's hard to even compare because it's like comparing apples and oranges. It's like 10 years ago, it was a completely different scene. So it's hard to even... Totally. Yeah. And like you said...
but here's the thing. We're all still really hot.
Well, that's what's most important.
We're all still super smoking hot. It's just
are.
that we actually have different shapes and sizes and
which
styles.
Is a nice segue to my next question.
Okay.
Is instead of talking about teaching, talking about our own personal practices, because we've both been practicing for a really long time now. And I don't know if you know this, Claire, but we are aging.
Oh, yeah, no, man.
Yeah.
Every time you say 10 years, I feel like it adds 10 years on my life that I've lived. I'm 10 years older.
Right? So I know for me, the practice that I had when I was in my late teens, early 20s is very different from late 30s.
Yes. Yes.
So my question to you is, I guess in general terms, how has your practice changed? Or is it changing? Or yeah, like what is the change in the actual practice as we get older?
Well, another thing I have to say that has happened, like fine wines, though we have gotten older, I've already addressed this, we've gotten hotter.
Okay, I'm sorry. I agree.
Yeah. But I digress. I digress. It had to be said.
Thank you for
but
saying
it now has been said. So, but like the fine wines we have not just gotten older. You and I have both gotten pretty fucking hench as well. You know, we're pretty strong.
Thank you, Claire.
And I would actually say that over and above aging, that's changed my practice more in ways that people wouldn't think.
So?
If we're looking at physical practice. So I think people would automatically think, oh, well, you're stronger, so you must be able to do loads of stuff that you weren't able to do. Nah, honey.
Nope.
Strong muscles are tight muscles, and it takes me more work now to get into some of the more bendy shapes that I used to get into, and that's just a fact. It's just a fact of my practice. However, I'm really accepting of it because I think that when it was all yoga, asana, and nothing else for me, I wasn't at all embodied in safety in my practice either. So I would just because I could, I would just throw myself into stuff.
Me too.
And now I have to give it a little bit more thought because my body, she will tell me if I have thrown myself at something that I shouldn't have thrown myself at quite so quickly.
And we don't recover at the same rate as maybe we used to.
No, definitely not. But actually, what my practice now offers me is more recovery. Because that's been the change for me. I think I definitely feel so much more held by my physical practice of yoga and so much more nurtured because I'm allowing it to do so. Yeah. I'm allowing it to do so. And part of that is what Taylor Harkness was talking to me about.
Right.
You know, a decade
years
ago.
Yeah.
Over that.
Yeah.
Because I've got other means by which to challenge my strength. I've got other means by which to hit my head off a fucking brick wall if I want to do that. Yeah. And yoga's not my place for that now. Agreed. And I think that's maturing in practice as well.
Agreed.
Yeah. And it's like everything else. Do you know, my bum still will not touch my heels in child's pose, right?
How dare.
And I used to really care about that.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
And now, again, I dare you to guess how many fucks.
0 of them.
0!
Yeah.
Don't care.
Gosh, I never thought that was like a thing.
Yeah, no, I remember, because again, this is where we have to be mindful of the kind of culture, of the language that we use when we're teaching.
Totally.
Because I still remember now, like, nearly 15 years later, that teacher who said to me, oh, does your bum not touch your heels in child's pose?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's a thing.
You know? Or it's just me now being bitching, but someone who is a yoga teacher telling me where they think I will carry weight when I'm carrying more weight.
Oh, God.
Or I know, I have experienced myself personally, and I know that people very close to us have experienced being told that unless they do X, Y, Z, so stop doing this and start doing that, or change their body in some way, they will never achieve a certain posture. Yeah. And things like that used to really affect me. But now I'm just like, I'm so grateful for everything I can do.
Yeah.
You know?
Isn't it great?
And I've lived enough life to see other people and to have people who are still not here with me, and to have people in my life who have experienced huge physical adversity, who cannot dream of doing what we would consider in yoga and the physical practice of yoga as the basics. You know? And so, again, I hope it doesn't sound too corny, but I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful.
You're so corny,
I'm so corny, but I'm also so grateful that I can still show up and I can still do this.
Yeah.
And you know what? Yes, sure, I'm getting older, but I think, I'm not fucking bad for an old bird, actually.
I think you're doing great.
I could still beat up everyone's dad. I could beat up all your dads. See, if I wanted to, I could beat the shit out of everybody's dad.
You
I won't
actually
do that.
probably could.
I wouldn't do that. No. Unless maybe they really, really deserved it.
I could for sure deadlift someone's dad.
You could deadlift someone's dad
I
easy.
could probably get close to squatting someone's dad.
You could squat someone's dad sitting in the car. You just own that.
Thanks,
now.
babe.
Just you own that.
Thank you.
Okay? You own that. Yeah, I don't know what I don't know. What could I do with someone's dad other than beat them up? I don't know.
Yeah, listen, I totally agree with you. It's an interesting question because there is the fact that straight up, if we're just talking pose to pose, me doing wheel at 19 versus me doing wheel at 38, very different.
Oh, yeah.
Very different.
Yeah.
And I used to practice first thing in the morning. That's what I loved. And I can't do that anymore. I could, but I need a little bit of time just to de-thaw, to warm up.
Get those connective tissues
exactly
moving and grooving a little.
So things like that takes me, I need to warm up a lot longer than I could just do wheel and not give a shit and whatever when I was 19. Like you said, just throwing yourself into things, easy. And now that's not the case.
Yeah.
So in that regard, I wouldn't say I'm as straight up mobile as I used to be. But that being said, I saw an Instagram video, I actually think it was on Facebook, and it was of me. I forgot that I could even do this, but it was I would never do this now, but because I have no interest in it. But it was wild thing to wheel, to camel, to drop back wheel, and out of it. And I first of all, I have no desire to do that right now, and also I was doing those things and was not present in my body whatsoever. Whatsoever. I highly doubt I really felt it. There was no point in it. I was filming it, so it wasn't even about the practice at all.
Yeah.
So in that regard, but I couldn't do that now.
It's what you say now. You know what you're doing. You know where you are because you're present within your practice.
Totally.
Which is so much more valuable.
Yeah.
Than being able to do all of that. My
right?
God.
Why was I even doing that? I was doing. I was doing that for Instagram. That's why I was doing it. And sure, it looked cool, but
it does. It's very cool.
It's very cool, but who
I would
cares?
need somebody to phone me the ambulance before I began.
That's the thing. It's we always have to ask ourselves why are we doing this? And don't get me wrong, there's still really hard asanas that I do love to practice. I love handstand and pinch on, that sort of thing. But I don't approach my practice in the same way that I used to. Kind of circling back to the start of our conversation, I used it for a bit of self-sabotage. I wanted to do something really hard. That was my intense practice. Whereas now I do really intense things, but it's not in the yoga space. It's weightlifting and running. So I'm not getting the same thing from it that I used to all those almost 20 years ago. Oh my God. And now the practice has become something that's much more, I know it sounds really lame, but of a spiritual thing and a mental thing and an emotional thing. I would rather, if I had an hour to practice yoga, it would be pranayama meditation and hatha style.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a hardcore vinyasa class. I just don't get the same thing from it that I used to. Don't get me wrong, I'd like a hard class every once in a while.
Yeah.
but it is more of cultivating just something different. I value it differently now. But that being said, there's no denying that as we age, things do feel different.
That's true. They do feel different. They become different. But what I will also say is, as someone who is now 40, 40 years fun, by the way, but 40, I equally, if I have an ambition to do something within my physical practice, if there is something that I wish to work towards, only God himself can help you if you fucking tell me that I'm past it.
Oh,
I think that's something that I really react to, is this idea that in practice, after a certain age, there's no point in having any ambition. There's no point in wanting X, Y, Z, or thinking that you can do this, that, and the next thing, because that is such bullshit.
Yeah.
It's such bullshit. And I really think that, I am so utterly blessed to be surrounded by strong women and men in practice who are doing the damn thing.
Yes.
They are doing the damn thing day in, day out, or week in, week out. They, again, are coming sometimes back from real adversity. They're working with injury, and they are like truly physically impressive.
Yes.
And that doesn't have to stop.
Of course.
That doesn't have to stop just because your practice changes.
Yes.
Okay.
And just because we're, getting older. And I want to make super clear that I find so much value in hard practice. So I'm not saying that I'm not poo-pooing on hard asana whatsoever.
No.
I teach. Look at what I teach.
Imagine if either of us did.
Right? Oh my God. The ultimate hypocrisy.
Nobody would ever do anything we ever asked again.
Right? We teach some pretty hard classes, and I see huge value in that. And I think that I've noticed this sort of movement, this is something to dissect another time maybe, but away from almost like people are poo-pooing on really hard asana, being like, oh, it's egotistical and it's performative, and as a way of actually just avoiding doing the hard stuff.
Totally.
But there is something really valuable in, learning how to do a really tricky arm balance and having to practice that and go through that for years maybe.
Totally.
I'm on a 15-year journey with handstand and the splits and and I'm learning so much. Definitely. And so I'm not saying, oh, well, if you're aging, you can just back away from those things. Not at all. I've just found at this point in my life, the intensity comes from other places.
Yeah, definitely.
And I use yoga. You use the word held, and I couldn't agree with that more. I feel so held by the practice.
Totally.
And that's
in a way that I never was before.
Yeah.
In a way that I never ever was before. So true.
So true.
So true. And actually, I don't think, no, I'm going to take that back. I definitely do still do some stuff to punish myself. Not in yoga, but I punish myself less.
Okay.
Than I might have. I'm just imagining some of the people in my life who are going to argue that point with me. But they don't know. I know in my head and my heart, that I'm better at not punishing myself as much. Because as well is with my yoga practice as well, another thing that I'm doing this for is functional.
Absolutely.
And I really don't want to be in, I really hope that I will live a long, long life. I don't want to be immobile. I don't want, I want to be able to reach up in my cupboards and be independent and go out and get my shopping and do all these things and not need to be looked after by others and to be looking after myself. And that's what a lot of what I move in general is for. And that also, that includes my physical practice of yoga. It's okay for us to say that it's functional, just the same as it's okay for us to say, I really want to be able to do this peak posture and I'm going to work on it. It's okay to have those goals and have those aspirations. Yeah.
Thank you for your honesty. And remember, never-ending tending.
Never-ending tending.
Right? So, you're maybe there's still a little bit of punishing in there, but it's a lot less.
I think, yeah, self-awareness is definitely a lot better. I just really hate doing anything about it.
It's tough.
Because people can tell me, and they're right, Claire, you're mental.
Yeah, they are right.
And then I'm like, and I'm not doing anything about it until I'm getting ready, kind of thing. I think I just come to things kind of slowly. It's why my practice hasn't really changed for myself until more recent years, I think, as well. You got to come to this stuff in your own time. You have to. Nobody can do it for you.
Yeah.
And nobody can force you to feel it.
Yeah.
If you're doing anything, it's kind of like my approach to recovery as well. If I'm just doing this because I know on paper that it's best for me, but it's not embodied, it won't stick.
Yeah.
It won't work.
Yeah. Yeah. Couldn't agree with you more.
Mm-hmm.
Claire, it's been almost 2 hours.
Oh my God.
I know. Are there any final words or thoughts or?
No, thanks. I love you a lot.
Could I?
Yeah, I think this is a bit we're supposed to talk about where we are and what's where people can find us and what's coming up and stuff. I know they'll figure it out.
I think what's more important is to say that we barely cried.
Oh my God.
You teared up twice. I teared up twice.
It was very touch and go for me there. And the difficulty is, much like Pringles, once I pop, I just can't stop. So I would have ended up.
We would have had to reschedule.
It's as well I don't wear as much makeup as I used to because I would have looked like a fucking Rob Zombie video.
We need to find videos for the people of your past haircuts, which were unbelievable, by the way. You've always looked amazing.
Are you? No.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. I love you for that. But children do not lie, and I work with children. And one of my work IDs is the era of the black micro fringe bob, right?
I have one of those photos
I am
somewhere.
still told on a daily basis or asked, why do you look like Lord Farquaad? Why did you have hair like the little lady that designs the costumes in The Incredibles?
Fair.
Yeah. I have been compared to Johnny Depp's portrayal of Willy Wonka. None of these are flattering comparisons.
They keep you humble. Those dang children.
And also just the photographic evidence. There comes a point where one has to reflect on oneself and go, okay, it sure seemed like a good idea at the time.
Never-ending tending, Claire.
Never-ending tending.
You are amazing.
You're amazing too.
I love you.
I love you back.
I now drink black coffee because of you.
Well, good for you.
Claire ordered black coffee. We went for brunch. She ordered black coffee.
She's tough as fuck.
Thought that is the most hardcore thing.
Look, watch Twin Peaks. Is anybody drinking milky coffee? No, they're not. Do you think that in The Silence of the Lambs that the detectives were drinking lattes?
They were not.
They were certainly not.
Nope.
Nor was anybody in the cast of The Exorcist.
Nor was Jack writing his book in The Shining. That was not a latte.
Come on. Probably had whiskey in it, to be fair. His as well. So that's a wee bit bridge too far for me. Who else do we think would drink black coffee? Brandon Lee's The Crow.
Oh, super random reference, but I hear you.
He is not having matcha, people.
Trent Reznor?
Oh, come on.
He is drinking it black.
I'd kind of... I will say this. I would love it if he was like...
I could see him actually having a little oat latte. Anyways, okay.
Yeah, anyway.
People don't even know who we're talking about anymore.
I know they don't.
I love you. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Same.
Thank you for being such an incredible colleague and friend for the last little while. Thank you for helping me create a space of belonging and community and just fucking great yoga.
Yeah, but thank you.
Oh.
Because none of it would happen. None of it would happen without you. It wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't keep happening.
Well,
yeah.
what can I say?
And thank you for keeping me safe and for telling me off.
I've done that only once or twice.
I know, but it was always correct.
Kind of.
It's always correct. And like, yeah, just helping me to get stronger in all the ways. By the way, just for anyone who wants to know, Miss Steph Wall is one of the main people that even got me into weightlifting.
This is true. Yeah, I'll take credit for that.
And now, look at me. I can't stress this enough. Could beat up all your dads.
Yep.
Everyone.
Yep.
All at once. They could all come from me all at once.
Doesn't even
I'm
matter.
still going to wipe the floor.
Doesn't even matter.
With them.
We're beasts.
We're such beasts. We're beastly women.
I know. Beastly aging yogis. I love you. Thank you.
I love you too. Thank you so much. This has been fun.
I know. Yay. That's a wrap.